Hey everyone, I'm Wa.
And I'm Chris, and welcome to DocuSweeties.
We're two longtime friends who discuss the riveting and sometimes trashy world of reality TV and docuseries.
Yes, but through our own lens, which is, goodness gracious, full of gravy, full of stuffing, full of cranberry sauce. And at the end of the day, hopefully mildly sweet because there's pecan or pumpkin pie. Hi! We are towing it, honey. It's 90 Day Fiancé Tow, Season 15, Episode 19, Owing Pains,
Mm-hmm.
like growing pains.
Starring
Michael J.
what's that?
Fox.
Oh, is
Michael
that
J. Fox.
no, really?
Wait.
I thought that was I thought Growing Pains was starring that one guy's dad.
Okay, let me look it up.
What's that one guy? He's the Different Strokes singer. He sings the song for Different Strokes, and then he is also Robin Thicke. Robin Thicke's dad. I thought was in Growing Pains.
Oh, that's I forgot about this show. My God.
Growing Pains is Alan Thicke.
It's Alan Thicke.
And Alan Thicke
It's
sings the theme
Leonardo
song.
DiCaprio. It's Leonardo DiCaprio, Alan Thicke, Kirk Cameron, and other people.
Leonardo DiCaprio was in a sitcom?
Yep. Just like,
Oh.
George Clooney was. George
Oh, I
Clooney was
didn't
in
know.
Facts of Life. You take the
Ah.
good, you take the bad, you take them
Take
all,
them up
and there you
and you
have.
have the facts of life.
Uh,
Facts of life.
what's the Growing Pains song?
I never watched one moment of that show.
But you knew that he wrote the song.
No, he wrote the song for Different Strokes. Or he sang the song for Different Strokes, Alan Thicke.
I don't listen to you. Okay, I get it now. Theme song.
Different strokes for six. Different strokes rule the world.
As long as we got each other, da-na-na-na, we got the world spinning out of my pants.
Nobody wants to hear your commercials, Chris.
What?
So nobody wants to hear your commercials.
I'm right. Baby, rain or shine, all the time. We got each other, sharing the laughter and love. Dun, dun. And it has like the best kind of ending, like ding, 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 ding. And I honestly feel like it was basically lifted and used as the Kardashian theme song for years. But anyway, so here we are talking about this dumb show, and I'll tell you, we don't like this episode. So you're gonna be in for a wild ride of people being like, blah this and blah that. But you know what? Sometimes these are the best ones because you need a little acidic wit. You need a rant, kind of like, you need someone to kind of give it a rant kind of energy, real grinds my gears kind of energy where we just can all be on board of like this couple, for instance, TJ and Kimberly. Can you fucking believe it?
Oh, I
Can you
can't.
believe how cute and smiley he is? And can you believe how ungrateful and poop smelling she is?
No, I can't. Now, the only thing that I will agree is if they did put poop on the countertops or something, like that is unsanitary. Unfortunately, like I get the reason why they did do it, but it would need a little bit of bleach afterwards.
Yes, and also obviously I wouldn't want my house to smell like cow poop either. So like
Yeah.
I do get that, like.
But the way she's so like it's like it's almost feel like she's like the colonizer when they come to like Pocahontas or whatever in that movie, and it's like savages. It's like that's the way she's coming a little hardcore with it. And I'm like, you're in their land.
Yes.
I don't like it when they go there and act a fool. Like, don't go and act a fool. Like you moved there.
Yes. So basically, now that they have their own space upstairs, they have to do some of the things, like bless their house, set up a little altar, and so they have to. But before that, though, she meets with mom and Yash to talk about the duties, and this is the duties that he never told her that she had to do, and she really never asked any questions. And they're kind of like, it's LOL because he's not translating it like they're saying it. They'd be like, well, you got to cook and clean and for yourselves. And TJ's like, well, just only for us, you have to make sure that, we are fine. But like, he's just like, he's not giving it to her the way that they're giving it to her, which is definitely more direct.
And Yash knows it. Yash obviously knows it because he's can hear it.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
It's so weird that that's what TJ is choosing to do. And as far as we know, as far as what she says, she did ask TJ directly, and he's choosing to like piecemeal give it to her as though that's going to make it better.
She says that she doesn't like washing dishes, and washing dishes like gross her out. I only wouldn't want to wash dishes if there were no gloves. If they're gloves, then I'm fine. But like I wouldn't like to wash dishes with no gloves because I get eczema and my hands dry out and I don't want to like touch food. Like I get that being, a little much to have to use your hands in like dirty water. But if there's gloves, then you can do whatever the mom asks you to do, like wash a dish or whatever. She's like, well, yes, if I cook, then you clean, like it's such a funny thing, but
We didn't have gloves in the house growing up until I bought them. And then when my mom bought them, she would get mad if they got holes in them.
well,
So I
sometimes it
have
just
gloves.
happens.
Huh? Yeah,
Yeah.
sometimes it happens. Yeah, but she gets mad about everything. Yeah, so I have gloves now in my home, and sometimes I forget to put them on because I'm so used to washing with that. My hands have a very high tolerance for water because of all the dishwashing. Now, I hate washing dishes, childhood trauma, but I hate them. I hate washing them now because had to wash every dish all the time. But I love gloves, and I have to remind myself that I have gloves in order to convince myself to wash dishes.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
Yeah, like he's like, well, you just do a little sweeping. Yeah, like, oh, is that what yeah, like everything about what she has to do and what's expected of her is being given to her with a spoonful of sugar from TJ's mouth.
Mhm.
When so she's also taking it like, okay, well, it's kind of like maybe I should do this, as opposed to the mom being like, no, this is what's expected of you. You get up every morning, it's 6 o'clock, 6 a.m.
Yeah. Which is
No
not
sleeping.
early. It's not 5. It's
Yeah,
6.
we're this comfortable time,
Mhm.
which is God, I just feel like sometimes I wonder what my life would be like if I regimentally woke up every morning at a certain time. Like, that's one of those things like billionaires are supposed to do or whatever. Like, like CEOs always like wake up at 5 a.m. Am I supposed the 5 a.m. club is a thing? Do you think my life would be better if I woke up early? Well,
Yes, 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 yes. Yes. You should try to at least wake up at 7 every day.
okay. You're right. You're wrong. I mean, I'm wrong. You're right. So anyway,
No, you really mean I'm wrong. Yes, okay, yours is not regimented. You just kind of wake up whenever you wake up.
I mean, yes and no. Like, obviously, sometimes I have to wake up at a certain time, and I do. Like, I try. I mean, like, but I'll let myself sleep in. Like I'll let myself sleep in till like 8:39 if I want.
Mm. No, I feel really good if I wake up at 6, but I mean like that means that I've woken up at 5 and I've given myself that 30 minutes of actually waking up so that I'm out of the bed at 6 ready to go and I feel really good. I mean super fucking good at 6 because at 6 possibilities upon possibilities. Like I could work out, I can make breakfast, I can like get a lot of shit done at 6. If I wake up at 8, I can't get anything done. I just got to get ready for work and go.
What time are you waking up tomorrow?
I want to wake up at 6.
Hmm? Are you gonna work out tomorrow?
No, I want to get up and have coffee and like scroll and like try to edit.
Okay, I don't know. It's like you said squirrel. Okay, so basically then they go upstairs and make I know. Then they go upstairs and make a place for Ganesh, and that part's cute. And then now the mom has to go up to her place and like make that kitchen the heart of the home,
Mhm.
and there's a couple of different rituals that Yesh is like, oh, we already been doing these rituals. You've been knowing these rituals. Why don't you know that these rituals are happening? Because they happen at your wedding. And so, you know, and basically what it is that they bring in cow dung, as cow is mother, God and
Mhm.
mother, cow is God. And they burn it. And it smells and it has microbial, how do you say that word? Well, you know how to say that word?
Yeah, I know what you're saying.
Mic
Microbial.
microbial properties, and,
Mhm.
that's what they also say about honey, but I I'm not quite sure how cow dung can because okay, I don't know. I don't
It's
know. I don't wanna smell it, and I wouldn't wanna taste it, and it is in her house, and I do feel bad that this is happening, but I also think this makes great TV.
Mhm.
So and at the end of the day, I wonder if there was a way in which if the mom hadn't done anything, if she could just when the mom leaves, just, like, quickly give it a little, like, fresh rub without telling everyone and, like, making the mom feel bad. Because basically what happens is, of course, TJ comes back and she's like, "TJ, your fucking mom took a rag that had a bunch of cow shit on it and then just wiped the table with it, and that was supposed to be enough for the food is, and it's not enough. And so he has to go talk to his mom about it. And she's like, "What is she arguing and bickering about? This bitch always fussing, this fussing ass bitch, like."
Yeah. No, it's just like like why did TJ have to go to the mom? Like
Right.
just yeah, why didn't they just like get a little disinfectant and just like spray it down and just like clean that shit up? Just
Yeah.
literally clean that shit up.
Right. I think that, like, if it's your home and you want, it could be like, "Oh, cool." Like, it would not be a bad thing to be like, if you watch someone wiped it up and you could be like, "Great. So it's not a bad thing to wipe it? Okay, then I'm just gonna get a whole brand new towel. When she's not looking, wipe it down like with water and soap, like, and just be like, and not say a thing and just be like, yeah, I'm just doing what you just did. Just make sure
Mhm,
I just want to help." Because then instead she looks like she's a negative Nancy being like, "What's this? What's that? Why is this happening?" Instead of like remedying it in a cool and casual way. But
mhm. Yeah, there's a corner store. That remember they went to that corner store? It's not far. She knows where it is. She could just go to that store and get the supplies and come back.
409. Yeah.
Mhm, mhm.
um
Alright, she wants to blend cultures. No. No, you're in India. The most blending you can do is only in your bedroom, between you and him, and he puts his penis in you. That's the blending of the cultures. There's nothing else that you can do.
Yeah, yeah. Like the only time you could blend a culture if there was two versions of that culture within your atmosphere, but it's only you and his whole culture. Like that's why in her mind she's like, "We have to blend, like me and it's 50-50." And it's like, "Yeah, no, not really, because you're living in a home with a bunch of Indian people." So what honestly has to happen is that all of you exist like a pie chart, and then you divide the pie chart by the people. So it's not you and him. You are 1/8 of this house.
Mhm.
So
Mhm.
1/8 of the time you talk, and 1/8 of the
Mhm.
time your feelings or needs matter. But most of the time, 80% of the
Mhm.
time,
Mm-mm.
it's them. It's the more
Mhm.
people. So, and that's just, the individual versus the family. And that's just like a cultural thing that she doesn't quite get. And,
Mhm.
here's the thing, if they were living in a part of India that had an American sector, I don't know, maybe, but they're not,
Mhm.
you know?
Mhm. Correct. Correct. These are all
So,
correct statements that I'm going to tell you. Blending of culture. Shut up.
do you want
Okay.
to, yeah.
The next people that we're going to talk about is Mary and Brandon. And I was really shocked that they were angry on the caribou, because they've been angry on the caribou standing in the rice fields for a long time. Like every time we see them, there's the angry standing in the rice field, sitting on the caribou. And it's because Brandon done fucked up again and pissed Mary off.
Mhm,
Mary
mhm,
is sitting in the church thinking about whether praying to God,
mhm,
wondering whether or not she's going to marry Brandon tomorrow. She's 50-50 on it.
mhm.
And she is accompanied by Angela, which now I know her name now, which is Brandon's mother. And she tells Brandon's mother, she's like, listen, I don't know whether I'm going to marry this man because he's again doing this. We're fighting about money. And he's again sitting on playing this fucking video game.
Yeah.
And Angela's like, he's been playing that goddamn video game since he's a kid. And I get it. I get it.
God, I want another video game so bad. I think it's Mario Kart. I think he's
For
just
some
obsessed
reason,
with
I think
Yoshi.
it's Fortnite. What if it's Minecraft?
What if it's just like he plays solitaire, like the solitaire from like the 90s, like on a on your PC,
Yeah.
where you like shuffle the deck again and sometimes you switch between 3 card pull or 1 card pull.
Oh my gosh. He's just yeah. So and he's still not helping and he's just kind of I just like what's going through his brain? I really want to know like what his malfunction is. What's your malfunction? Like what's his problem? Like what's your issue? What's his issue? What's his malfunction? Like why does he retreat in that manner? Why won't he like kind of step out and help her with the things that she needs help with? And what is the trauma that causes him to go to the video game whenever he gets overwhelmed or what it is, whatever it is. And Angela really gives some great help. And she's like, listen, you guys are young, 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 young. And I get it. But can you see yourself living without him, raising this baby and doing everything alone?
She's like, "No."
Nope.
Angela's like, "You need a partner." And when she says that, we're all like, "Oh shit, like Angela definitely is being an unbiased warm, person. And Angela very much, I can't quite tell now whether she wants them to be together or wants them to not be together, because she will say that they love each other. She understands that. I think that and she's not pushing for Mary to leave him and be like, well, see, this is what she said. Yes, it's going to be hard, like it's going to be hard. You have to like deal with it, and you have to deal with your therapy, and you're like working on your issues while you're married. It's not going to be easy. And the I'm happy because Mary gets to at least also have some sort of female advice that is being given to her from a sound, reasonable, healthy place, like someone who wants the best for her. And she
Mhm.
doesn't really have that ever in her life. So this is such a sad scene. Like it
Yeah.
really breaks my heart, but it also gives me a little bit of hope for the future that these two women could come together. And obviously, the reason why Brandon retreats in such a way is retreating is a thing that we all do, whether it's into video games, some men porn, some people weed or alcohol, like some people like whatever it is. Like he was retreating into video games when he's overwhelmed to escape. And it's probably something he did when he was young, when his mom was using. And maybe just to pass the time or to not think about it, or if she was making noise or not there, it was just a way to like turn on and turn off, and so it's hard to break those habits, especially when you're young. So I, I I think that I think that he has to like get over it though, and he knows it's a problem. So I'm hoping that he can. They fight over money though, and because which is interesting. Like, what is it like? It's just that he won't help with money, right? Or like,
I
right?
think that she's probably spending money on the wedding and spending money on certain things, but because he's not actually helping her do anything with it, she's probably like, "Hey, I'm gonna spend this money on this wedding, so you're not helping me, so shut up."
Mm,
Because that's what it was the last time when he was like, "We need to save. We shouldn't do this. Let's have a small wedding." And she's like, "No, we need to. This is a once in a lifetime event. I'm gonna spend money on my wedding."
mm,
Um.
okay.
All right. Sarper and Shekinah. I mean, really, they came in like on episode 8 and have just been hitting it out of the park ever since.
Yeah, that's kind of like what that's what Clayton is doing on regular 982. It feels like they have a tendency to like kind of bring in the middle player to really like take it home for the season. But
Mhm.
I have noticed this about Shekinah is that she has this Lululemon jacket in cream and red. She's gonna wear without the season. The back has that like scoop or whatever, and it's so funny because it's like this is an athletic jacket. It's like hugs the body, and it's Lululemon, and it's just not the kind of jacket or coat that you like need in Europe or like abroad style weather. And it feels such a California and American Los Angeles style person like me, which is why I can call it out, of being like, oh, let's make a little light jacket. It's like you need like jackets that are not athletic material. You need like coats. Like that kind this is the kind of workout active jacket that you wear when you've already gotten out of a Pilates or a hot yoga class. You're hot on the inside, but you go outside and there's a little bit of a wind. So you zipper this up and you're warm from the inside, insulates on the out. But that's not going to like do anything for you. But either way, it's on sale. This is non-spawn, so you can just do what you want with that information. But yeah, so they show us that Sarper, Shekinah, and his parents had met. Shekinah had met his parents, but what we see is Sarper then having like the after meal with his parents, which is interesting. What?
Yeah, for some reason, I didn't not know his parents were alive or like able-bodied. I just imagined them being like either not alive or just the mom old, some babushka somewhere, just like in the country. So to know that they're like well alive, both, and fairly with it was nice to see. They were very late. He was very late and they called him out on it. And he looks like some kind of plastic person at this point. Like now I see him and I'm just waiting for him to look like to take the sheen off of the plastic off of his face and his hair. So they ordered food for him. And the parents have met Shekinah and they think that she is well adjusted. And he's like, yep, 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 she is. She is. And I'm like, he's too old for them to have any it just felt like he was like their 32-year-old son who's like this is his first go at it.
Mhm.
Especially because, this is the first person that they've truly ever met of his. It just feels a little like they're a little heavy-handed in it, especially when the mother's like, "Oh, I really want, grandchildren, is that something that she wants to do?" And the father says that it's her duty to have grandchildren, to have children, and the mother's like, "Well, it is, kind of a big thing for a mother to do." And the dad's like, "But she should. And she's a sacrifice." And the mother's like, "Well, yeah, if she loves him or whatever." And all of a sudden turns into a really just like this machismo thing that while this is the dark side of the machismo thing that I think she kind of liked him for and liked his like, "Hey, I want to control you, I want to dress you, I want to tell you what looks good, I want to weigh you, and I want to do all those things." And now, this is getting gross. And it got gross really quickly.
Yeah, the dad saying that was intense, but, I think it's just also an old school culture. And where the lineage, we're talking family lineage, we're talking, is such. And yeah, like this man is a dinosaur and says this on national television. And he's like, and his wife knows that it sounds bad and tries to make it sound better or whatever. But, old men will say the darndest things. You know how we used to
No.
have those, like, I know, it's like you literally, I know, it's like we also had a show called like Kids Say the Darndest Things, but there's no one that'll say the darndest things like an old man, like, or an old woman. Old people can say the darndest things, like because they've lived and sometimes you're like, what you gonna fucking tell this person? Like, I mean, I would be like, if I was there and I was Shekinah and the dad's like, it's her duty to have kids, I'd be like, no, my duty is doing whatever I want, and your son can do whatever he wants. And if he wants to have kids, he can find a woman to have kids with.
Yeah, it's like he's God's gift or something. Like, I was thinking of proposing to her, but now I have to reconsider. It's like, okay, then fucking reconsider. You're the one who's been sticking your dick into everything that you've seen walk by and has waited this long to have kids. And now you found somebody who's made you feel this way. And this person doesn't want to have kids. And so you're thinking of throwing away the entire relationship to go back to fucking every light socket that you find. So either way it goes, you're not going to have kids. So I don't understand this argument. You could either
No, it's
find
my karma. It's my karma. Of course, of course. I finally find woman that I want to be with. Finally, so many women want to be with me, and I finally found the one, thousands. And of course, she doesn't want to have a kid with me.
And guess
Meanwhile,
what? You think I'd care? I forget about you in 2 days. What a fucked up thing to say. If she kind of doesn't walk away from that, she's a dummy.
she's like, I'm unsubscribing from this conversation. I'm leaving this conversation. I'm unfollowing you, and everything is social media. What do you think of this hammam, though?
This hammam?
Yes.
What's a hammam?
The, spa, the Turkish spa they're in, it's a hammam.
Ah.
Hammam.
Oh no, I've never heard that title before. That
Oh,
was beautiful.
Hammam. Yeah.
That's beautiful.
And she's like, "All right, babe, what do you think?" He's like, "Oh, Shekinah, you're so pretty." Like, it's just it's hard because, yeah, this relationship is based upon sex, and so is Ashley and Manuel's.
Mm-hmm. But
You
for
know?
some reason, I believe that Ashley and Manuel's sex is better. I don't know why. I just can't imagine his
Ugh,
hard like I feel I want Manuel's squishy body on me. I don't want I just imagine Sarper just looking at me dead in my eye like I
but
just can't.
okay, but does Manuel have the scoop?
Yeah,
Yes.
Manuel has a scoop and Manuel is like touching me all over my body while he's doing it. While Sharper is like it is
W
just like intense.
What if there were OnlyFans sex offs? Sex like, it was like Shekinah and Sarper versus Ashley Manuel, and it was like the big event, it was like a boxing match, sex match,
Oh
and
no,
you
I
could
don't
like
want to watch it. I would like
you don't?
to I would no, I don't want to watch it. No,
Oh,
I don't want to watch them having sex. I would like I
I do.
I don't want to watch it.
No, I don't wanna watch it, come on.
I just want no, no.
What? What are you talking about? In what world, like, are you gonna really in front of all these people tell me to my face that you don't want to watch either of these people have sex? Of course you do. How are you lying?
Mm-mm.
Like if I was like if I was like, "Wah, come over.
I would have sex
Wah,
with
come over." Wah? You what if I was like,
I am
"Wah?"
for sure not watching it with you.
No?
Christine Lee Farah.
Who-
You think that I'm gonna sit next to you and watch people fuck? No, 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 no. I'm watching people fuck with someone I'm going to fuck.
I've never watched porn with someone else.
Oh, I will.
Oh,
Yes.
one time. One time. It was a bad time. I forgot about that one time.
Okay. I don't. Have I done it? Yes. And then I had sex with that person afterwards.
I I had a bad time once where like someone at Real Food Daily like brought me back to their house. I thought we were smoking weed and he put on porn and then like I had to leave and I was like stuck in Glendale. Oh my God, what a nightmare. Ugh.
Oh, you didn't know you got. Oh, you didn't. Oh, see, there was that. Yeah, that happened to me several times. Like, I just it took me like maybe 4 or 5 times of that actually happening, where I realized if a guy invites me back to his place to smoke weed, that he wants to have sex. It was very upsetting.
Oh, I didn't know. I was so naive.
Yeah, it took me a while to really 4 or 5 times. That's too many times to realize that.
I just thought they would want to spend time with me because my fun personality. I'm fun and
Hmm.
energetic. My I'm
I just thought
warm.
people wanted to smoke me out without any consequences, without any
Yeah.
for free. Why
That's
wouldn't you
kind of
want to
like
give me your weed? I'm great.
this is exactly what Brittany did to Handy. She was like, "Why don't you want to give me $1,200 on a phone and a car? I'm great." And he was
Hmm.
like using it to like bait her.
Hmm.
You're right, Wa.
Yeah, that's why I understand why she's like confused about it.
So basically, yeah, they ruined the Samam hot tub time with
Hot cob.
with more talk of a kid, and she unsubscribes from this conversation, and she just disgusted that he keeps bringing up the number, and he is like, "Go home then," which is horrible. And how do you get past this? I mean, yeah, like if a man said that to you, yeah, I don't know how I would unless he like starts running after her and is like, just kidding, just kidding. When I said go home, I mean, just go home right now and I will, like say I'm
No,
sorry to
he
you
would have
by another
to.
orgasm. Like what does that mean?
No, no, he would have to come to my hotel because I'm obviously gonna get a hotel because I'm packing all my shit and getting to a hotel. He would have to come to my hotel room
Yes.
on his knees,
Mm-hmm.
sit outside the door, knock
Okay.
on
Mm-hmm.
his knees, and then
Oh,
sit outside all night. And then when I open the door, he just is on his knees in front of me,
is
and
he
he
on his
just
knees
like,
though?
mhm.
I love you.
And then he like it's like on his knees, walks in on his knees. And then as I get dressed, he just sits there. He doesn't say shit to me the entire time. And then at some point, he's like, Wahima, I am so fucking sorry that I said that. And then I break down and cry. And he
Mm.
doesn't come near me. He just watches me cry. And I look at him. I'm like, why would you say that? And then he's like, I don't have any fucking excuse, but I really, really don't want you to go. And then I go back to his house.
No, you don't stay in the hotel room. Oh, you already
Um,
paid for it.
yeah, I mean, it's time to check out. It's been a night.
Okay. Yeah, so is that's going to happen with her? No, I 100% think that she's going to be like, "Just kidding, I'll have a kid." Don't you? I think that she's going to do that.
I mean, I didn't see. Listen, I understand it's a woman's choice for sure. But like her whole desire to not have a kid, like she would have to tell me more than she had to raise a child by herself. Like to me, her reasoning is pretty weak.
It's a
She would have to say the truth is that it was fucking really hard on my body.
yeah.
I was in excruciating pain the entire 9 months. And then my boyfriend left me while I was pregnant. So if I have this baby, you need to marry me. One, and your mom has to move in with us, or you need to quit your job. Like there needs to be stipulations where you are not going to leave me alone with this child.
Leave me alone with this child.
She needs to like make up something where there was a physical and like she became a diabetic. She got like some what is that in fibromyalgia? Like she needs to come up with something more than just like I had to raise a child by myself. My sister needs to move with me. She leaves now. Her entire her sister, number one, she has to come home with her tail between her legs, and her sister was absolutely right.
That's true. That's true. But as we know, in the fast forward to where we are in real time, he has taken to social media to find his son. the son that he deleted the email account where he had any sort of contact with him. So
Oh.
maybe the son will also find a way to him. Now, the only sad truth is that he found out that this show does not air in Russia, which is probably where the son is. And so, unfortunately, now the rest of the world has to come together and find the Russian son without it airing in Russia.
Oh, well, you know what? Let me take this back, what I just said. The truth is, not the truth, but I respect the fact that a woman doesn't want to have a child no matter the reason. So for those women who don't want to have children, regardless of the reason, I respect your choice. I'm just a fun person trying to be funny on a podcast.
Oh yeah, we make mistakes like that all the time. Because we try to be funny for you.
Mm-hmm.
We try so hard. Okay, so yeah, it's interesting. It's like, yeah, if she doesn't want to have she doesn't want to have a child because she doesn't want to fuck up her body. I get it. You know who doesn't want to have a child because that person doesn't want to fuck up their body? Key Rock. And both people can be like, no, I don't want to fucking fuck up my body. I like I like where my body is right now, and I don't know if I want to have a child and fuck it up. Now and the thing about it is, if their significant others, Brittany and Sarper, want children, then that's the work they do to find someone that wants to do what they want. But here we move on to another couple that want different things, Danielle and Johan. This is so fucking batty waddy that it starts the way it does, which is that hot on the end of him stealing money and then lying about it, and her being like, I can't believe it, and him being like, well, this is fucked up. I don't want this, and I never get what I want anyway, and this is dumb. Just dun 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 dun. Cut to them in both fucking gear, like she's a little Santa elf and he's Santa, and she's like, you know what, we talked and he apologized and I forgave him, and this was like bygones, like big bygones. And he's such a giving person. He had an idea that we're gonna give all these toys to kids.
Yeah, he's putting on full-on Santa suit, which looks like with chanclas, but maybe they showed the chanclas to bait us, like he had on like some kind of black material over sandals. And he has pillows around his belly, and he comes outside and she's like, are you comfortable? And he's like, no. And he sits down, and they've gotten over 40 gifts from people online giving gifts for the little children in the neighborhood. And so she's like, hey, I need January's rent. And he's like, I'm not giving you January's rent. I've already paid you enough. I'm not giving you any more money. And she's like, what do you mean? And he's like, yeah, I wanted you to buy a house so we didn't have to pay rent every month. And she's like, ¿qué? And she's like, yeah, no, I'm not, that's not. And she's like, well, then you got to go live somewhere else. And he's like, okay, great. Thank you. I'm tired of taking your crap. And it just like spiraled into her crying. And I'm like, girl, just what felt like a month ago, you were like, you can go. That's crazy. And all of a sudden you're crying.
Yes, you're right.
It's very weird that you are not okay with him just leaving and picking up and going to his parents' home, because he's like, I don't want to have to pay rent, which is so crazy, because if they had gone to the US and lived in New York City, they would have to pay rent. Even if they bought a home, because you have to pay a mortgage. He doesn't understand that in the US, people don't just outright buy their home, because no one just has $600,000.
600,000, bring it over. Yeah, I mean, definitely not New York, but yeah.
Yeah, I mean, wherever. But people don't have, I mean, if people don't have $600,000 saved up to put down on a home. People, they don't have that. So like everywhere you go, you pay a monthly something, whether it be rent or mortgage. So the fact is that he doesn't understand that that's normal. And so they haven't had that conversation. And so he's like, I have an American wife. And as somebody who has an American partner, there are certain things that I'm owed. I'm owed papers. I'm owed a better way of life. And you have not provided that for me. So yeah, I want a divorce, and I might as well be with somebody here who can give me a baby. He's a fucking dick, and I did not expect him to turn into that.
I need her to exit stage right. I need her to if there's and the thing is, I don't even think they're together right now. She already posted a picture on her Instagram of her little feet and his feet in such a way that it made it seem like they're very, very much together. And so yeah, I think that she's dumb. Maybe this is for the cams as well. I'm not quite sure. This does feel horrible, really, really toxic and negative, and almost like Findom. Like, doesn't it almost feel like he's like financially dominating her? Like he's being like, no, you have to pay, pig, and she's like, okay.
Jesus,
Uh,
pig.
well, sorry, that's what they call. That's what they say on like Twitter or like X. Like when I looked up findom people.
Mm-hmm.
So, but like because he's now told her like so many ways that he wants to be a kept man and he wants her to pay for him and he doesn't want to work, and she just keeps being like, okay, no, yes, no, no, okay, okay, that's fine. And then he's like stealing money from her and she's like, okay, that's cool. No, it's like, so at some point, what's real and what's not? Like so much of these behaviors, I'm like, it should kind of start her, based on like BDSM, behavior that she's just like wanting to be like a full sub to a alpha. And at this, I'm like, well, is this now like Dom, where like he's her dom and she like pays him in money? Like I just not quite sure, but I don't want any more Danielle and Johan. I find them now to be distasteful, and it's funny because they started off the season so well with the natural charm of her two friends, but without her two friends, they are not. They are kind of grotesque people in their own way.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely can see that. They are.
Mm.
It's hard to watch because we don't know what's what. I don't see a picture of them together on Instagram.
Okay, you talk, and I'll look it up.
Yeah, it's hard to watch them because it's just an up and down thing and it seems so gross. They're constantly fighting. They don't have good communication, and I'm really surprised that she cried. And it's funny because like I know it's so hot and he's in that Santa suit. Like they are in like the midst of like the heat of paradise. And they are dressed with a Christmas tree. And he just wants his papeles. So all right, you guys, that's the end of this episode. If you would like to see the visuals of what you're listening to right now, you can join us on patreon.com for $10 a month. You get the visuals of what you're listening to, plus a live every first Monday of the month, and other goodies that are coming your way. Promise. They're coming.
We are giving them to you. I've been looking this whole time for that picture and I can't find it now. So I will have to do some digging and then post it into our Facebook group. Oh, come on, talk about it. It's a Facebook group called the Docu Sweeties Facebook group, honey, and we exist there. I don't know what it's called. I have no idea what it's called. Okay, Docu Sweeties Facebook group. And we also have the Secret Sweeties group. If you're a patron member, but you can't join unless you're a patron member. Anyway, so other than that, we also can enjoy some time with you on our social medias at Docu Sweeties on Instagram, at Docu Sweeties on TikTok, at Docu Sweeties1 on X/Twitter. At the same time, if you want to look at our faces and our boobies, you can. Wow.
Patreon?
OnlyFans/Docu Sweeties. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, I'm just kidding.
Oh, Patreon? Is that what you wanted me to do?
Yes.
I already did Patreon.
Oh, okay, love. Well, we did it. God bless you. I always go first.
That whole time you didn't hear me rant about Patreon? Bye.
You know what? I was looking